Alright.
What up, folks? You're watching Jaby TV. I am Jaby KOAY, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
Hello.
We're talking about Swing Kids, the Korean film, written and directed by Hyeong-Cheol Kang. It's based on the musical by Woo Sung-jang, and it stars Kyung Soo-Do, Hye-soo Park, and Jared Grimes.
Oh.
As well as a number of other people, but those are the people headlining in IMDb. I'm gonna give you the IMDb description real quick just so you kind of have somewhere to start with this. The story of Ro Gi-soo, a tap dancing North Korean soldier who was held captive in the Gyeoj prison camp during the Korean War. Based on Korean musical Ro Ki-soo, written by Jang Woo-sung and directed by Kim Tae-hyung. I wanna start off with saying that I really appreciated this film. Stylistically, and tonally, it's doing a lot of different things, just so you know in advance. That's what I come to expect sometimes with Korean films. One of my favorite Korean films is The Host, and tonally, it goes back and forth between kind of a goofy comedy and a very serious horror movie.
Right.
Or I should say dramatic horror movie. And so here, there are moments where it's very goofy and whimsical, and then there are other moments where it's really dark and serious, but it still feels like you're watching the same story.
Yeah.
It's almost like a film with a cool personality where it can go, you know, anywhere.
Quirky and then really dark. I think I really appreciated that about it as well, because the subject matter is very serious and it's tackling some very serious themes like racism and, you know, what is the point of war? Why are we fighting for ideology? This is dumb. How dance brings people together.
Right.
And so I was going through it smiling because I loved the dance numbers. The musical numbers were fantastic. And then it would be like, oh no, wait. We're in a prisoner of war camp.
Right.
And this is pretty grim.
What was interesting is how the director gets you to fall in love with those dance sequences, and then he interrupts it with these real moments of like war. You realize that, like you said, the ideology in the war, the other political stuff that's at play is just kind of getting in the way of these people being able to just enjoy themselves with each other in this non-language language that they're able to communicate with. It's a really beautiful film. I really appreciated a lot of those dark moments, actually, because it moved me emotionally right up to the end. The dance sequences were some of the most fun dance sequences I've seen in movies. It was almost like Step Up in a war camp or something, you know?
Exactly.
It was really cool. Like, there was some, you know, West Side Story face-offs in the movie that were unexpected. It was a fun movie, and it was a somber film, and it was an emotional film.
Yeah.
There was some great acting in here on the part of especially the main leads. Kyung Soo-Do, who I believe is a K-pop star. There was also the American actor Jared Grimes, who plays Jackson. He's relatively unknown as far as I can tell. I looked him up on IMDb and I didn't recognize him from any of the stuff he's done. He did a great job and he was very understated. And what I find the challenge to be with a lot of foreign films, when I say foreign I mean non-American, is when they're using American characters, oftentimes you get actors that are terrible. Like we've watched a lot of Indian films, not too often, but on occasion I'll see like white actors in a Korean film. I'm just like getting ready to cringe. And it did happen a little bit here, but it wasn't as bad as I've seen in other places. Jackson really helped me like feel good about like the American talent. I'm like, oh, thank God. Like, thank God he was good at least. I forgot to mention that stylistically, irrespective of what's going on in the story and how you might feel about the tone, just like the way it's shot is so cool. I really appreciate the aesthetic of this director. I would love to watch anything else that he does because it was beautifully shot. In some ways, it reminded me of Whiplash because of like the pacing, the way, the frenetic shots and stuff.
And also because Whiplash was about drumming and this is about tap dance, you've got that same kind of like heartbeat, which is the tap dance rhythm going through it. There were some amazing shots to do with the tap dancing. I loved it.
This movie didn't make me like all out cry and bawl, but there was definitely stuff that moved me almost to tears. And it's not someone dying or anything like that. It's just the way the director was talking to me as an audience member. Just through visual representation, he was communicating certain ideas. I don't know if all people watching the film are gonna get, but I certainly got the message. It moved me because of that. His art was speaking to me. I was like, oh my God, I understand what this director's trying to say. I mean, sometimes it's on the nose. Sometimes it's really on the nose, but I don't mind that because he balances it out with a lot of moments that aren't so on the nose. Again, like it's beautifully shot, the music is great. Even though some of the songs are more modern in the movie, I still really dig it. My only major gripe, I would say, is that For some reason, in the middle of the movie, it felt like it got a little slow, and I was really hoping that the main character would get his tap dancing shoes a lot sooner. This is a weird reference, but even while I was watching the film, it felt like I was playing Legend of Zelda for a second. I'm just like waiting to get my sword, waiting to get my shield, waiting to get my Pegasus boots so I can run faster. I'm waiting for this moment when he gets the shoes so you can hear just the full power of his movement, and I'm like, he's still tap dancing with boots, man, come on. Just give him his shoes already! That was my feeling sometimes. But outside of that, like, I really appreciated this film. I would buy this movie. I liked it a lot.
It was lovely.
Like I said, the dance sequences were wonderful in this. The relationships built in here felt organic. These people were at opposing ends in terms of just like where they stood with each other, and
they
then
were from different places in the world, not even just in Korea, but just, you know, China and a Black American.
Right.
So there was that level of racism that he had to contend with as well. I just thought it had a lovely message on so many levels.
Overall, yeah. I just have to say it, but like some of the acting from some of the American actors or the Caucasian actors. Like there was this one moment where some of the soldiers are arguing with the white soldiers on the other side of the fence that do play a role in the film. Like there's that face-off later on. Some of the banter I could tell was improvised and just not good. It just wasn't good acting sometimes. And I'm like, all right, maybe it's just because they're more dancers than actors or something. I don't know. It just bugged me sometimes. It's like in sharp contrast with the Korean talent in the film who were all doing wonderful. All the Korean actors did a great job in this movie. There wasn't a single one where I was like, you know, I liked all of them. But there were some American actors where I was just like, okay, but just don't do, okay. And, you know, for the most part, it was fine. It was passable. I just wish that it was better. Anyways, those are the feelings on this film from us. Hopefully you guys go watch it. I would really love to hear your thoughts on the film if you go check it out. Check out ACHARA KIRK on the social media. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out our other reactions, reviews, and short films. I am Jaby KOAY. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.